When someone you love has to make a difficult decision, especially when that decision would fundamentally change their family's future, you want to be there for them and support whatever decision that they make. When my wife decided that the best decision for her health and safety and our family meant seeking abortion care, I looked at her and said, I'm here for you. Let's go. If you're a man who wants to do whatever you can to support your loved ones, if you're a man who will stand by them when they make a tough decision, if you're a man who knows that sometimes the strongest way to show support is to take out your keys and say, let's go. You just have to pick up the phone, take a minute, and tell your representative and your senator, I'm a man, and I believe in a woman's right to access legal abortion. It's a human right.
We have only 41 Democrats in the Iowa House right now until the election. Our role is really to tell the other side of the story and to try and create a conscience of what this really does mean for Iowans. If you take this to the people, so in North Dakota, they had a general vote on life begins at conception. So it's even more extreme, but very similar. And in North Dakota and Arkansas, it was defeated multiple times. These are not liberal states, but these are places where people are they're reasonable, they're thinking, and they're saying, this is wrong. It's not the government's decision to make, it's an individual's decision.
What do you say to someone who comes to you and says, what about the child?
The start of life is a personal decision. That's a personal opinion. It's not something that you can force on another. And to place more value on that life rather than my own, that growing potential life rather than my own life, it's hard for me to not get offended.
Governor Tom Wolf is speaking out against new laws in Georgia and Alabama that effectively ban abortions.
Anti-choice bills that seek to place a politician between a woman and her doctor when it comes to the most important medical decisions she's ever going to make. I just want you to know that if such a bill were to come to my desk, I would veto it.
Earlier this week, the Pennsylvania House passed a bill that would ban abortions on a fetus diagnosed with Down syndrome. Governor Wolf has also vowed to veto that bill.
Republicans' calculus now is that they'll push as many of these anti-abortion laws as possible, hoping they'll get challenged or almost expecting they'll get challenged. That will then eventually end up in front of the Supreme Court, where they then hope they now have the support to have abortion overturned.
Doctors can go to jail for helping women get abortions, and women for having them. To end her pregnancy, Naomi didn't break the law. She went to England, where the procedure is legal. But Northern Irish women who want abortions and can't afford to travel have one main option: to order illegal abortion pills online, which can be punishable by life in prison. While no one's currently in jail on abortion charges, a high-profile case is going through the courts now. Emma Campbell runs the group Alliance for Choice that helps women get these pills and campaigns for a change in the law.
We have to be really careful sometimes about how we communicate with each other and how we work. There are a couple of providers that we recommend because the medicine's guaranteed, and also that you go through with an online consultation with the doctor.
Are you worried about effectively admitting to a crime?
I think that it's the law in this case that's wrong rather than the deed.
So you're willing to take whatever comes?
Yeah.
And that should be jail time, according to people like Bernadette Smith. An anti-abortion rights activist, she tries to convince women not to terminate their pregnancies.
We've got drug pushers in Northern Ireland who are providing dangerous pills to women. I think that they're the real criminals. I see many of the women as victims.
Not surprisingly, Smith supports the near-total ban on abortion in Alabama. But that ban has worried pro-abortion rights Emma Campbell, whose group has written a letter to Americans. It says, under the new law, women in Alabama will need to replace doctors to help one another access abortions, and that they'll need to be very careful who they trust.
We know exactly how those laws feel because we live under them currently.
It's advice from a faraway place that to some Americans may look increasingly like home. Haley Ott, CBS News, Belfast.
Sin is sin, and it's wrong.
No woman should be judged because these decisions are never easy.
The child is ripped limb from limb while his heart is still beating. I'm a mother. I loved my pregnancies because it's beautiful. But it is not that way for everyone. There's no reason to make it more and more difficult and drive women back into the shadows of illegal abortions.
Abortion restrictions have been passed in this country. Many people are unaware of how restricted abortion has become.
The legislative priority needs to be something that will stop abortions.
1 in 4 women will have an abortion in their life. And when I think about how politicized this has become, I wonder, how did this happen?
It's the basis of democracy that you control your own body.
I'm tired of the Republican Party bullying women when it comes to their right to choose.
The Republican Party's the party of life.
Women are using coat hangers.
They kill people for a living here.
The abortion battle has taken a violent turn.
Every abortion clinic is a potential target.
So the question is, who gets to make the decision? Is it the woman or is it the government?
No, I won't in a monumental moment for the Supreme.
We've been very effective in targeting abortionists. When abortion clinics close, babies get saved.
The idea that we would go back to that was just unbearable to me.
Life is winning again.
If doctors can't perform the procedure or clinics can't keep their doors open, then what are we left with?